Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations about psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We try to do that for your listening pleasure. We continue to do that whenever we can. Please feel free to reach out for your assistance. And if you're looking for coaching, life, relationship, business, anything in between, would love to be of assistance to you in any way that I can. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either one will give you the contact information you need to make that happen. So, what are some life lessons that life may be trying to reach you with that you may not be paying full attention to? The first is rewriting your internal story. Your life is the sum total of your focus and your internal story and the meaning that you've given to things that have already happened or things that may happen. Thus, if you're not getting what you want out of your life, then your level of success in having a story that you're living well through can be extremely difficult. Understanding the need for finding common ground, understanding the need for dealing with a certain level of commonality and common ground is an important nature to identifying things in a positive and progressive direction. Ultimately, when we begin to understand the value of living more progressively and positively, we can then also identify the things that matter most to us in a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month level. And when we begin to know how to do that, we also can get an easier way to reach our goals, an easier way to connect with the future and find that we can benefit society as a whole. Again, common ground is going to create bonds between people, and knowing what your common ground is with a person can also make the time you spend more meaningful as well when we begin to know the value that moving forward in that way gets to. The next thing is looking for goals. Whatever your goal is, whether that goal is short-term, long-term, medium-term, whether it's health-related, relationally related, financially related, whatever have you, the pursuit of goals is essential for happy, healthy, meaningful living. But understand why you have the goal you have and how you are going to potentially hit pitfalls, but keeping your ability to live within the moment as focused as possible, and knowing that every goal that you have may come up against some degree of hardship or challenge from time to time, but at the same time that you have the resiliency to balance that, to get that to a good level. The next thing is remove as much stress as you possibly can. This means that if a relationship or a job or whatever isn't working for you, focus on trying to create the life you want, not the life you have. Meaning that if something isn't working to your advantage, eventually you're going to burn out on your willingness to continue to work with it, work through it, or deal with it. So being willing to admit, hey, this isn't working, this isn't what I want, so it's time to get out of this situation. Next thing, and the last thing, and the most probably important thing in a lot of ways, is to live your morals. What I mean by that is a lot of people say, I'm a loyal person, but what does loyalty mean to you? I'm a honest person, but what does honesty mean to you? Know what your boundaries are of what you're willing to do and what you say you are. Because a lot of times what happens is we have conflict because internally, because what we say we are and what we really are is two different things. And so then people become disappointed with us because we ultimately aren't living what we say we are. And so ultimately that becomes a conflict, because if a person's counting on us to always be there, if a person's counting on us to always be, you know, in our lives in a certain way, or working for us in a certain way, it can become super challenging in a lot of ways, especially when we become focused only on the immediate benefit or the immediate positive side of a given situation. So it's important to know how to live your morals, and don't claim a morality that you don't actually believe in. A lot of times people, because of family pressure or social group pressure or religious pressure or any other number of things, political alignment or whatever, claim to be something they're not, and then when they're challenged on it, their whole worldview has to be shifted. So identify what morality you're truly living, what you can actually fully commit to, and live through there as much and as often as possible. Hopefully this is helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.